Hey guys, so it's been ages since I made a video. I apologize. My life has been really crazy. It's kind of turned on its head in the last month and a bit. So I'm going to shorthand it and then I'm going to give you the long explanation. So bottom line is I've left my job at Toll Bar and I have taken a new job. I've been offered a job in Hitchin, which is a little tiny suburb, basically about 30 minutes from central London. And it's gorgeous, and it's called the Priory, which is nice for me because I actually, my elementary school was called the Priory, so it's a nice little sort of full circle, like, oh, I started there, now I'm teaching there, so it's lovely, and the staff are great, the position is fantastic. It's maternity leave till the end of the year, and then a full-time contract in September if I decide to stay and if they want to keep me, so that's guaranteed, so that's great. But the road to getting there was, uh, not smooth, obviously. So what happened, I'll start a few weeks ago. I haven't been 100% honest with you guys, partly because I haven't been making videos often enough that you can tell. My bad. But working at Toll Bar was really difficult. It was taking up way too much of my time and energy. I was really struggling. The standards were just way too high, and I couldn't perform as best as I could, and as best as I know that I can, and as best as I know that the kids deserve. So things got really crazy. Things were piling up, and I was doing my best, but I was just really treading water, and I was drowning. I was not liking the person that I was becoming. Some of you guys probably noticed I haven't been that communicative with you guys back home, partly because one, I didn't have the time, and two, I didn't want to show people back home what was happening to me. I'm much more of the suffer in silence person. I don't like complaining. I just want to like muddle through and things will get better and everything. The first term is always the hardest. That's what they told us. But it was, it was too difficult for me to sort of, stiff upper lip and just make it through to Christmas. I couldn't do it. So, between that decision and now, we got offsetted, which for those of you who don't know, which is probably most of you, Ofsted is an acronym for something I don't know, but basically it's a school inspection, and they look at everything. They look at your marking, they look at your attendance records, they look at your systems, they look at your classroom and your kids' work, and they look at the way you're dressed and the way you teach and your classroom control and everything. So everything is really micromanaged, and it's under a microscope for 2 or 3 days, however long the inspectors decide to show up. And the school only gets like a 24-hour notice that your school is going to be offsetted. So we got offsetted, and that 3 days was the longest I think I've ever worked solid in my entire life. We got the news on like a Tuesday at lunch, and so everyone's freaking out. And we stayed, I think, Becca and myself, we stayed at work until 11:30 that day. So 11:30 on a Tuesday, and then the Wednesday they were coming in, Wednesday, Thursday, and it was disgusting. We just worked so much, and got all of our marking up to date, going back and marking old things that we already marked just to make sure that they're super, under control and super thorough and everything, because they will look at that. Just making sure all of our books are up to date, that everyone handed everything in, and that our classrooms were good, and that we, just everything was in order, and they couldn't find anything to pick apart, basically. So Wednesday was the first Ofsted day, and all of your lesson plans had to be done and submitted to your department head and everything. And because I don't have a classroom, I didn't have a classroom now because it's past tense, I don't work there anymore. The Tuesday night, I was putting all my books where they needed to be and getting my lessons ready and just having everything set so that I wouldn't be running around on Wednesdays, which I usually do because I have to bring my books from one end to the other and all of that. So I wanted to be as smooth as possible, so that's what I was doing. And it was ridiculous. Everyone was really highly strung, and everyone was really stressed, and it's just silence in the staff room, which never happens. Everyone's just printing and photocopying and printing, and it was nuts, madness. Like I can't think of anything as an equivalent to any other profession. Honestly, I really can't. And I made it out the other end, obviously, I survived, but Jesus, it was really rough. And all my lessons on Wednesday were flawless. I was on point, and my kids were good, and, it was dynamic, and everything was great. But, you know, nobody came to see me. So that was one day down, and then they were coming for the Thursday as well. And so on Thursday, everyone was walking on eggshells, like, "Did you get seen? Did you get seen? What did they say?" You know, and just hardly anyone in the English department got seen, and freaking out because that means, oh my God, they're gonna see everybody on Thursday, and we were just going a bit crazy. So Thursday, and the kids were, they're kids, right? Like they're not stupid. They're just really immature. And they had this gag where, if the teacher wasn't looking at them, they would knock, like, knock on their desks, and we would just, shoot up and like look at the door. Because God forbid, like, that was an Ofsted inspection, we had to, like, set everything up, and so everyone was really stressed. And my kids were doing that all Wednesday. Every single period, I had 6 periods on Wednesday, and every single one, at least one kid knocked on the desk, and I gave them shit. And I was on edge the whole time. And then Thursday, it was last period on Thursday, so 6th period. I was teaching all 6, and I had my year 9s, and we were doing like Lord of the Flies, and they were being kind of shitty because they were tired of being well behaved, and it was the end of the day. Ofsted hadn't seen them yet, and so they were like thinking they were off the hook. But I'm thinking, oh shit, they're going to have to see me. I don't know what's going on. I'm just right? Because hey, let's not forget, I'm only 23. Okay, I'm still a kid. I just got certified. I've never had an Ofsted inspection. I'm not even done, a year in the UK teaching, so I have no idea what's going on. So I was on edge, and one of my kids knocks on the desk, and I turned to him and I said, "Do you want to give me a heart attack?" Because I have, we have a good relationship, so like I can be like annoying like that. And I gave him the death stare, and it was awful. And felt like, that feeling when you're about to cry and you get welled up, and you're like, oh shit, if anyone asks me anything, if they, a soft breeze, and I'm gonna just burst into tears, basically. And my kids were chattering like, "Oh, Jordan, why'd you do that? You're gonna give Miss a heart attack. Like, oh, look, she's gonna cry." And the second I heard that, I was like, oh, shit, And so I just covered my mouth and I just walked out the classroom, just really quite quickly, and like didn't cause a stir or anything. I just needed a minute to breathe because I was so on edge. Shit, I didn't want to fall apart and then have an inspector come in, right? So that was really, really hard for me. And then someone came in and gave my kids shit for teasing the teacher and everything. And it was just, it wasn't a good scene. It was kind of bad, actually. And in retrospect, I definitely should have handled that better. And I know that now, obviously, but in the minute, like at the, it was awful. And like people forget, I have very, very high levels of general like anxiety, like not clinically, but like I need to learn how to manage my anxiety and my stress better, but I need those systems in place, and they're not here, So yeah, I get nervous, and excuse, I'm not gonna make apologies for that. Like honestly, it's too late now. But I'm getting off topic. Sorry. Obviously, it's been a very busy month for me. Anyway, so yeah, what was I saying? Right. So then Friday, Offset's gone. Everything's cool. Things are sort of back to normal, and I gave my kids, the same group of 9s, I gave them shit for the way that they acted the day before, and it wasn't a good scene, and I had totally lost face with them, which is, when you lose face in the British system, like all of the work that I've done with these kids to get them to do their work and preparing them for their exams and stuff, that's all out the window now because they've seen me break, and I had to build up from that, and that's a lot of work on top of all the other shit that I'm doing, so I was just not in the mood. I have very low tolerance now. Like, I used to have the patience of a saint, and now I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. And that really bothered me back then when this was all going on. This was in the middle, beginning of November, actually, roughly. And so yeah, it was not fun at all. And then on the Monday, so I had a weekend, we went to Liverpool, which was fantastic. Just the right amount of, lechery and debauchery and just like drinking and dancing and spending money and just getting Ofsted and getting toll bar out of our system. I went with Becca and my other friend Mike, who I mentioned videos ago when we went on the beach in Cleethorpes. He's lovely. So the 3 of us went and, basically drank everything away. My old students are watching this. I'm not an alcoholic. I just, stress. You guys understand. You know what I'm talking about. It's fine. Anyway, so that happened. And then the Monday, After, I get called into the head of HR's office and essentially was told, you're not doing well, you're resigning. And that's how they do things here. They don't say you're fired, they say you're finished, you're gonna resign. And so that's basically what it was. And so I guess I lied at the beginning of the video. I said that I've decided to leave Toll Bar. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I guess I was fired, but yeah, I choose to look at it a bit, glass half full. I've left, and I found a much better job opportunity, and they're gonna take much better care of me, and I know better now. Yeah, and I mean, it was a mix of things. Their reason for letting me go. A bunch of stupid things that I guess I should have known better in retrospect. But hey, I'm new to the British system. What are you gonna do? It wasn't that I was a bad teacher or that my marking was not good enough. It was just the way that they made it sound. Excuse me. Was just asking too many questions. You ask for help too much. You need too much assistance, and you're not performing. You're not making the right levels of progress that we were hoping as a teacher, and that that's going to haunt me for a really long time, the way that they said that to me, because levels of progress, you guys don't know this, but that's a really big thing in the British system. And that's how you basically, you advance in your grades, and you get your averages and things. You have to make certain levels of progress. You have to, if you start from like a C in your year 7, 7th grade, God, I can't even think anymore. If you start at the beginning of high school with the C average and you finish in grade 11 with like an A, you've made like 6 or 7 levels of progress because it's all incrementalized. And we do that for the students, okay? So levels of progress are things that we talk about with the kids. And I was told as an adult by another adult that I'm not making the right levels of progress. And I was kind of shell-shocked when he was talking to me, so I didn't really process that until later, but I was really insulted by that. I still am. Because as a young woman with attention deficit disorder and, various other learning difficulties and things like that, that's what I've been hearing my whole life. And I think that's really insensitive. And I'm not afraid to say that. Like, that was not a good call. The phrasing could have been put a lot better and a lot less insulting and a lot less patronizing. But what's done is done, and that's fine. And so that was on a Monday. That was a few Mondays ago now. 2 or 3. No, this coming Monday will be 3 weeks. So the last 2 weeks of my life have been weird. Very weird for me. So in the last 2 weeks, I'll just put it in time frame for you guys. In the last 2 weeks, I've been fired. I'm just going to call it that. I've been fired. I've searched for a job. I've gotten hardly any sleep. I've tied up all my lessons for all my kids. They had me teach the rest of that week, by the way. Oh my God. Like, ooh, slap in the face. Here, you're not fit to teach anymore. We don't want you, but finish out the week. Anyway, so I got into contact with a really fabulous agency that took a lot of really good care of me. And they were working around the clock, and so was I. I was calling and phoning and fixing my application and sending it out places. Because, I had 2 decisions. I could stay here and finish out my visa for 2 years, or I could come back to Canada. And as much as I love Canada and I miss you, I wasn't giving up. That's it, So I made my choice, and I'm finishing out my 2 years, if not more. So, yeah. And I was sort of overcome with this like weird fighting spirit, like, this was wrong. I am a good teacher. I don't care what their reasons were. This was a mistake. I'm not going to fight it in that way, like, no, I want my job. I don't want to work there anymore. I don't like it. It's an artificial environment. I'll make a whole other video, probably, once I move and I'm safely away from the area so I don't, get in trouble or get anyone else in trouble. I'm not going to name any names, but no one's happy, okay? It's not a happy place to work, and we were sold a story. And it's really important, you guys, and I know a lot of you guys are my old students who are going to be looking at real jobs very soon, so listen to my advice, okay? When you go on to a job, visit the place first and be really sure about the deal you're getting, okay? You have to cover your own ass first, because employers are not your friends and they're not your family, and they will not hesitate to let you go at the first or second sign of weakness. Okay, and that's really important because I know you all are fantastic and you all deserve to do really great things, and I don't want you to have work sob stories. Okay, you got to take care of yourselves, and if something's not working for you, do not be afraid to mention it, and always have a plan B. Okay, that's really important. Truthfully, I was looking at options in January and looking to apply for work for September in January. So I'd already had that sort of plan B floating. And then, the shoe dropped and I had to find work now. So it was good that I had that, on the back burner. So that's a life lesson. I know I'm not your teacher anymore, but, listen to Miss K, all right? These real life horror stories happen and you got to take care of yourselves. So if anything good has come out of this, it's that I know that I'm a lot stronger, and I know that I've come out of this a lot smarter, and I've learned a lot of lessons about trusting and settling too early, and it's really important that you find the job that's right for you, or the partner that's right for you, or the house that's right for you, okay? All of these things are really important, and if you don't hear it from, parents, grandparents, or carers, or whatever, or your friends, you've heard it from me, okay? And that's really important to me that I pass that on. So, yeah, I mean, I'm rambling now and I'm sorry, but I haven't spoken to you guys in a long time, so forgive me if this is a bit long. Basically, the new place that I'm going to be working at is really lovely. It's half an hour outside of London by train, and it's called the Priory, like I said. It's great. It's smaller than Toll-Bar. It's about less than 1,000 kids, which is a major improvement, I think, because Toll-Bar is like upwards of like 12 or 13 or 1,500. I don't even know. It's just too many kids. Too many. And it's a mat leave cover, like I said. And I'll be working with her until she goes on mat leave in the middle of February. So I'm going to have like a partner for the first like month and a bit while I'm there. So that's great for me. Shaky, sorry. And it's just English, and the classes are much smaller. The marking load, is way, way less, so it's much more manageable. I have a pay rise as well because it's technically still like London and around, so I get paid London salary, but because it's not in London, I don't have to pay London prices for accommodation or food or transport or anything. So I get to keep more of that money, which is great too. And it's in an adorable area. It's very sweet, like the typical sort of Canadian imaginary of a cute English town. That's what it is. Okay, it's adorable. It's gorgeous. It's very sweet. Everyone's really polite. This was my dream coming here in the first place. I thought that where I was going was going to be like this, and it wasn't. But now I found a place that is, and I sort of hinted at it like on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. But I do have I have a partner now. I have a boyfriend who lives down in London. His name is Sean. He's lovely. And he's been absolutely fantastic and really supportive of me during this whole time, and he's I'll be closer to him, which is great. So to satisfy your curiosity, Chloe, he's a graphic designer down in London, and he does things like he retouches like Maltesers. He does a lot of stuff from Mars, I think he was telling me, and so like we see his ads on like the tube and stuff, and I point them out, and he laughs, and it's good. And he lives in Tufnell Park, which is in Zone 2, I think. So it's really close to everything, and it's in a great area as well. So whenever I go down for visits, it's really nice because we can like go to museums and stuff, or we could just stay in, whatever. And yeah, I mean, just on the whole, I'm a lot more happy than I was 3 weeks ago. Say I'm still going like crazy. I'm leaving Grimsby on Tuesday this week coming up because I'm going to be going down, taking a train to Hitchin, where I'm going to be living. Sorry, guys. I don't know if I mentioned that. I can't remember now. Hitchin is where I'm going to be living. Sorry. And I have to go look for houses because I don't want to be homeless. And we thought about me living with Sean for a bit, but it's a really crazy commute to go from Tufnell Park all the way to Hitchin. I'm going to have to get up at like 5:30 every day, and I can't do that. So I start work on the 16th, which is why I'm in a bit of a time crunch at the moment. So yes, I'm gonna be going down on Tuesday, and I'll be house hunting like crazy. Hopefully, I'll have something signed for, fingers crossed, by, you know, maybe the 10th. No, that's the 10th is when I'm going down, Catherine. Come on. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be staying at a B&B there for a bit. I might just live there, you know, because it's pretty affordable. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted. And now that I have a bit more breathing room, I really should be a lot more, you know, constant with my videos. But I do apologize. And I'm really sorry that I've been MIA. It's just I've been sorting everything out, and it's not an excuse. I mean, it is an excuse, but it's still shitty, and I'm sorry. But I will be coming home at Christmas. The Christmas breaks here are really, really short. So I'm going to be flying from Heathrow to Montreal on the 23rd. Or 22nd, I'll get there on the 23rd. Time difference, I don't know. And then I'm leaving. I'm going to be back here on the 2nd of January. So I have like 4 days. And I'm going to be splitting that time between Montreal and Toronto because my parents have moved to Toronto. So I may have to go and help them. Or I'll be staying in Montreal. I'm not 100% sure yet, so I will try really, really hard to figure out what's going on, and I will keep you guys posted because I want to see you. I haven't seen you in like 8 months, and I'm going a bit mad. I think the first thing I'm going to do when I get off the plane is have a giant poutine. Really. Yeah. That's the way it is. Just want to load up on Canadiana while I'm there, and then come all the way back here. But on the bright side, when I come back, I'll be happy. Because I'm not happy. I wasn't happy here in Grimsby. The people are great. My housemates are wonderful. I'm still living in Ange's. Ange's a peach. I don't know what I'm going to do without her. I'm going to miss her a lot, actually. And it'll be fine. I'm not leaving the country, so I can still see, you know, the Canadians that I'm still in touch with. So everything's going to be fine. It's a change. It's not an ending. It's a change. A very welcome and necessary change. And yes, so in under 25 minutes, God, I'm so sorry, I have filled you guys in on the last month of my life. I'll apologize one more time because I know it's shitty. I'm really sorry that I haven't been talking to you guys as much as I should have been. But yeah, so please excuse the lateness of this video, and I will hopefully make a new one of these maybe midweek next week. Hopefully by then I'll have some good news about a house. So we'll see, and I might take you on a tour of the house if I have one. Oh, fingers crossed. Okay, I'm going to be very busy from now to then, so I'll say goodbye. I miss you, I love you, and keep doing well in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do hard drugs. Okay? Yeah, you guys are adults now. It's fine. So, yes, I love you, I miss you, be careful, and let me know how much it's snowing, because people here are freaked out about a little bit of wind, and it's hilarious. And I heard in some places of Canada there's like 30 centimeters, and I'm just like, I'm dying to see pictures and stuff. So comment and tweet me and all of that good stuff because I'm so well connected. And yeah, so I will see you soon. Okay? Bye. Be good.